بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم. بسم الله
Al-Ikhlas fi Ramadan, a program that enlightens Muslims on important acts of worship during and after the month of Ramadan.
The month of Ramadan itself is unique, is special, is different.
The best way of preserving the Holy Quran was in the memory of the Muslims.
If you have any problem, get up in the middle of the night and you call Ya Badbuh.
Join Medinat Fagbahun on Al-Ikhlas fi Ramadan every day at 9:30 a.m. on ITV throughout the month of Ramadan. Ma salam.
Viewers at home, Alhamdulillah, you're watching Al-Ikhlas fi Ramadan again today. That means you are alive. Have you said Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen today? Have you been grateful to your Creator? Have you been grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for breathing, for seeing, for even being healthy? A lot of people are in the hospital. A lot of people are in the sick bed. If you can even have 1 square meal a day, you are a lucky person, because there are people who don't even have anything to feed on. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Let's be grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala every single day. Some people started this Ramadan with us and they are not here today. Today is the 9th day. We are not even half gone. But Alhamdulillah, every day is coming one by one. Gradually, Ramadan is coming towards the middle of it. So, you're watching Al-Ikhlas fi Ramadan again, your Ramadan diet, your one place education enlightening Islamic program on ITV. We'll be right back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله
Al-Ikhlas fi Ramadan, a program that enlightens Muslims on important.
You're welcome back. Assalamu alaikum, our viewers again. So today is a Friday. So for that, every Friday we are going to be on a round table with the coaches. A round table with the coaches. These coaches are certified marriage counselors and life coach. They treat anything that needs counseling. They are marriage therapists. They are relationship counselors. They can counsel your teens. They can counsel you in marriage. They can counsel a divorcee. They can counsel anything, anyone, anytime you need someone to talk to. This is the work of a coach and a counselor. So in the house today, we're going to be we're going to be on a round table with the coaches, and yours truly is also a life coach. So for your information, now in the house today, we are going to be treating a topic we named the third parties in your marriage. The third parties in your marriage, those are your in-laws, your family, your friends, and etc., your neighbors. The people who can just come into your marriage and either make it rosier or make it worse for you, depending on how you treat them. So we are treating the third parties in your marriage. And to my right, I have Coach Sophia Kasim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to the program. And to my left, I have Coach Fatima Chikari. You're welcome. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Now, we're going to treat the topic as usual briefly before you can call in if you have any marriage problem, you have a teenager in the house that is giving you problem, or an adolescent or a child showing tantrums, you have your professionals there to treat them. So we're going to discuss the topic briefly before you can call in and ask questions on anything you're not clear about. So the topic of the day being the third parties in your marriage. Let me start from my right. Coach Sophia, can you tell us briefly how we can handle the third parties in our marriage?
Handling third parties in your marriage, there are things you need to understand. We are Africans, we are Nigerians, and our society is a multicultural society. This you have to put into consideration. There are some things that are taboos, or some things that some culture wouldn't accept, why other people don't see them as anything. So first of all, as a wife or as a husband, you have to understand the family you are marrying from or you are marrying into. You know their culture, their beliefs, their traditions, and the way of life, the way they live. This will help a lot in knowing how to handle or live with such people. Now, as a couple, even before you go into marriage, you have to learn to discuss with your husband on how to set boundaries. You should reach an agreement with your husband. There should be an agreement. If in-laws will be allowed in the house, if friends will be allowed to visit, and even when they visit, how they are going to stay in the house. Are we going to allow them to stay in the visitor's room? Or when my mommy comes, am I vacating my own room for her to stay? Even when my husband's mom come visiting, do I have to vacate my room for her to stay? Sorry. Now, your answer, if anybody wants to visit, the answer the wife is giving should be the same the husband should give. That is when you have discussed this issue even before marriage. There shouldn't be a different, response to opinion. So wanting friends or families, a certain family wanting to come and visit, then it becomes a problem. Now, like I said earlier, we live in a multicultural society. You have to put that into consideration so that you know how to deal with your in-laws or deal with your friends. There are not really straight jacket rules on how to deal with people, because sometimes, like I said, you see some people, what makes them angry or what they see as forbidden is not forbidden in the other side. If you have ever watched this film, Mr. Bones, yeah, there was a time the prince visited a certain place, and their mode of greeting was a kind of slap. Yes. You understand? Yes. And he was surprised, he didn't know. So if he didn't know that the slap was a greeting, ordinarily everybody will go angry and be pissed, or why do you have to slap me? You understand? No, for the fact that he was not told that these are mode of greeting, he became calm. So you as a wife or a husband, you need to know the culture of people and know how to deal with them. No. There are some people that will go like calling people's name without putting in this part of some part of Nigeria. Yes. They'll just go straight to calling your name. Yes. They don't see anything wrong with it. Yes. They will call you by your first name, Medina, Safia, even when you are senior to them, or you are elderly. Yes. Then there are some persons like the Yorubas. Even when they are senior to you, they will still greet you with ma. They won't call you by your name. Yes. They will either call you mommy, they'll call you auntie, whatever they will attach to it. Yes. So if you kind of marry from a different culture, yeah, or a tribe, yes, and maybe you are from the West, the Yoruba person, and you are now be addressed, or your in-law is from the West, Yoruba, and you are coming and you're from the other part of the country, you call her or him by his name, that becomes a problem. Very serious. They will say you are so disrespectful, you don't have regard for me, and that will start you become a problem. Yes, so that's why we are saying you must understand the family you are married into or you are married for.
No, mashallah. Okay, that's beautiful. Coach Fatima, let's have your view on that.
Okay. So in respect to what she has said, there is something we also need to understand. Every person you see or every person you are marrying has a baggage. I call this baggage their families, their friends, their relatives and other things, their colleagues. So you need to understand, just as you are, you have other people in your life that you have to carry them along as you just go in life. So you need to understand that whoever you are marrying to or you are marrying to, definitely they have such people in their life. So first you need to know that you need to adjust your own life, because you are accommodating other people's life now. You are not just marrying the only person, that person, because that is one of the problems we have. You just assume you marry only this person. No, if you are marrying this person, you need to understand he has other people around him that you need to go along with, because that will give you much more easy things for you to know how to accommodate him and them, because there are some part of him that you just cannot drop, like his family. He can't drop his family just because of you, and definitely you don't want him to drop your family because of him. So definitely those are people, or those are things that you need to put into consideration before you even go into the marriage. And another thing is, those people, they are the people, majority of them are the people that made him who he is today. Because without them, you don't really know who he is, because like his family, they are the ones that give him education, they give him the tarbiyah and other things that made him who he is today, and you even saw him as somebody, as a potential person for you to marry. So that definitely you should understand that once you are marrying this person, you need to know how to accommodate those people. So another thing is, those people need to understand, like, okay, this person is married now, so there are some certain boundaries that need to be exercised in that marriage, because just because you have married this person doesn't mean like this person is you are marrying only this person, or he need to cut out other people in his life. So you need to know, like, okay, another aspect is definitely you go along with those people, because without them you wouldn't have even known him as the person he is today. So aside like setting the boundaries that need to be set like right before marriage, as Coach Safiya said, those boundaries are the things that will open and let me say communication listing for you, because like, okay, I know this person is this to you, and prioritize, just tell them like, this is so person to me, this is who he is to me. Closing that aspect, like, I don't really know who this person is to you. Yes, so I won't know how to treat this person. But once you tell me that this person is so to you, then definitely I should understand his importance in your life. And that will give me more opportunity for me to know how to set my own boundaries personally, because sometimes we also cross boundaries. They are not just crossing the boundaries. Sometimes you do. Most times we are also crossing the boundaries. Like when it comes to his family, you need to understand there are some boundaries you don't even cross, especially things to do with his mother and his father. Definitely, because they have right over you. So you need to understand that. So there is nothing like, okay, this your mother is doing something for me, like your Jannah is under him, his Jannah is under her. So definitely you need to understand those boundaries, because without such understanding this, you will start crossing each other's boundary, and before you realize it, you are going into something that you can't even control, because that is the major problem. He can't fulfill his mother just because of you, and he can't you can't make him like he can't fulfill his he can't fulfill you because of duties, because of his mother. Exactly. So you need to understand, like, okay, definitely this is where I should stop, and this is where she should stop. And most times, as men, leaders, being the leaders of the whole in their hand, they need to understand, like, okay, I have to know how to manage every situation. Let me know the boundaries of every aspect of the parties. My mother has this boundary, and my wife has this boundary. So without setting those boundaries, crossing them will cause probably at the end of the day divorce.
One
Because
person will get hurt.
exactly, and the ultimate one will just be like, I can't live with her,
With such
with
a
just
person
exactly.
and
So
have it,
yes, so at the end of the day, you realize once those boundaries are set, definitely, gradually, so many things will become
fall
easy
into
to
place,
be accommodated in the whole
marriage.
marriage.
Mashallah. You know, so to sum up what the coaches have said, I want to say that from both sides, you need to actually know that the person you want to get married to has a baggage. Part of their baggage is those friends who give them a hand to lead them up while they are trying to become someone you became so attracted to. And then one out of the baggages is they have families who feed them, who clothe them, who probably send them to school and breed them, and they have responsibility to these people. Some of those people are not even the parents. Some might be the elder brother, some might be the uncle, some might be the cousin. You know, somebody they think that no, this is my right hand person. I can't do without this person. This person loves me so much. He has shown me so much love. And then you, the wife, came and decided that that person is larger than life. You don't want the person's position in the house. How do you expect to survive that? You can't survive such an environment. You know, you just met the person barely how many years they grew up with this person. They brought him up for ages. So you have to manage how you see the person, see the good side, and always be grateful for what they have done in the life of your spouse. It might be a husband that thinks, oh, this my wife's brother is too larger than life. Why is he always controlling her? She says she wants to go back for her master's. I said it's not time. I can't afford it now. And he's telling her it's either now or never. The worst is I will pay for the school fees. You know, your ego and pride comes in. No, it shouldn't work like that. You know, you should put every other person into consideration. And you know, like what Sophia said, you know, you have to know the boundaries that you shouldn't cross in every marriage. And part of the boundaries is as good as saying there are baggages, because there are some people you can't say, okay, your mother cannot come into your house and say your wife is preparing fried rice, and no, she has to make tuwo and shinkafa and me and taushe. That's what her son loves. What if he has fallen in love with the fried rice the wife cooks? You shouldn't interfere in what they are doing in their personal life. If you want tuwo and shinkafa, it's fine. You can tell her, oh, I don't like fried rice, please can you make tuwo and shinkafa for me? Or if you can't, I can make it myself. That's actually better. But now making it look as if you know your son more than his wife does, that's absolutely crossing boundaries. Because most times when people get married, when they meet other people in their life, they change. They become someone else you don't know. Even between, like a polygamous setting, now you see other wives, this wife will say, my husband doesn't eat fried yam. And then he goes to house B, maybe she makes yamarita, not fried yam. And he starts eating yamarita. And you are saying my husband doesn't eat yam. And she say, he loves yam. Then you begin to wonder, he doesn't eat yam with me. That is between two wives, with the same man, not even the parents. So as a growing up child, he might not have much option. The best food you make is tuwo and shinkafa, and so he loves it. But when he grew up, he saw intercontinental dishes. Maybe she's making basmati and giving it lots of vegetable and flavor, and it was colorful, and wow, that's not his best food. And then you come and say, no. He cannot see tuwo and shinkafa and leave it. It might not be so. People change. And people are different with different people. So we need to know how to set our boundaries in relationships, especially in marriage. We need to know when to give space to couples so as they can survive their marriage. That doesn't mean anyway that the couples now should now overcross their boundaries too and think that they can just uproot anybody from their spouse's life simply because they are now married to the person and they think they are entitled to the person's life. It doesn't work like that in marriage. We have to set our boundaries, and Islam is a religion of, what do I call it now? It's a religion of average. You have to be average. You can't be an extremist, right?
Yeah.
Yes, moderation. In Islam is a religion of moderation. You have to be moderate in whatever you're doing. Don't overstep your boundaries, and don't allow anybody to overstep their boundaries with you. So you have to be in the middle of it. So mashallah, that's our topic today. The third part is in our marriage. So our line is open now. If you have any questions to ask the coaches, go ahead and do that. The number to call should be on your screen by now, 081-720-57609. You can start calling in from now. and we're going to answer your questions. Now, among the third parties, there are these third parties people don't envisage. They don't think or know they could actually be third parties in their marriage. These are the neighbors. You see some neighbors, they poke their nose into your marriage so badly they think they actually know you. You know, I have a case of a lady who has a very close relationship with her neighbor. So this neighbor is married, she's also married. They went so deep, they are so inseparable friends. And to Allah's glory, the neighbor's husband died. So when the neighbor's husband died, you know, because of their closeness, they couldn't stop the closeness and everything. And her husband decided he's going to marry the lady whose husband died as the second wife. And the lady went AWOL, like, no way you are doing that. I don't know why that is. Sorry, we have a caller. Let's take this. Hello? 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 Good morning. Good morning, you're on air. Who is on the line? Hello? Hello? Hello, we can hear you. Who is on the line? Okay. You know, so her husband decided that, okay, since you are very close with this person and she has lost her husband, let me just marry her. And, you know, you can now be closer. And then the story changed. Sorry, we have a call. Hello. Okay, we lost it. You can keep trying. The line is still open. And then the story changed. And the lady was like, no way. There's no way he can marry her. Marry her for what? She didn't know the lady is going to become a third party. You know, hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Okay, you can still call in. The line is still open. So, the lady became so hysteric and said there is just no way her husband is going to marry, you know, the neighbor who is now her best friend, who now turned the widow. Well, I think at the end of the day, the husband relocated the neighbor to another state and still married her. And that brought about a serious problem. She actually left her husband. She said she couldn't stand that lady being a co-wife to her. That he could marry anyone in the world, but not that one. I don't know why that is. Maybe the closeness was too much. But she was just a mere neighbor, you know. So what do you have to say about that?
Most times is because of the closeness that you have mentioned. And one problem we normally have as women, we don't keep secrets. We like to keep other people, we like to share a lot of secrets to those we assume they are our best friends. Yeah, and most times it turns out to be a disaster, because majority of the times you can have a friend that is truly a friend, and you can have a friend that is
a snoop.
Exactly. And sometimes you can't play with destiny. Exactly. So
very unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
Hello. Yeah, you're on air. Who is on the line? Okay, Central Area. Go ahead, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are grateful for that. Thank you for that call. Thank you for calling in. Bye. Hello? Yeah, hello, who is on the line? You're on air. Okay, we lost it. So, Coach Sophia, what do you think about that?
You know, women in nature, they are very territorial. Like, they don't want people coming into their space.
Yes.
And being a friend, she will not feel betrayed. Like, I let you into my life. I practically, literally told you everything about
me.
You know, most times when we accept that we allow our husband to, you know, to go for polygyny.
Okay.
We don't normally look at those around us. We always imagine the person is far away,
someone you don't know.
You know, you don't want to know about the person. You know, the person just stays there.
The person could be anyone.
Yes, and at the end of the day, you see your husband coming for somebody that is within, you know,
territory, friend or neighbor. you now feel betrayed.
betrayed.
And the unfortunate thing is that there's no boundary as to who he can marry, except the person with your blood.
That's it.
Yeah,
There's no boundary.
I don't know if women actually put their mind into that.
Okay, except what Islam says.
Forbid,
Yes, you can. There are some persons you can't marry.
You cannot marry.
Yes, but
Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, that line is jammed.
And for the other question you earlier asked, well, you know, when people want to go into marriage, they go, especially women, they have this preconceived mind of mother-in-laws, bad. Their mind is already made up. They don't have a open mind or a open heart to accept
the mother-in-law like their
in-laws. They come prepare, like, give it to me, I give it to you back. That's what many of us just going to marry that. So with that kind of mind, you will not even be, patient. Yes, no tolerance, no patience. Once they do any little thing, you give it back to them, you are fighting. But if you go into marriage with a different heart, trying to understand, because these are two different people. Even you and your husband, you're still trying to understand each other. If in-laws even want to help, they're supposed to give this space. To allow them to understand, naturally let people understand each other and kind of make adjustments. Definitely there are things that I personally do that if I'm not going into marriage, I need to make a little adjustment to accommodate my partner. Yes. Then at the same time, it's not easy for the lady because pressure is always on the lady.
Everybody thinks you have to be a perfect lady.
Let me give you an example. When my husband came to ask my hand in marriage, everybody in my family were expecting me to go into the kitchen, prepare. My in-laws are coming. Even in my house, I have to prepare. Then when I also visit my in-law, my husband will still sit. It is still me, my in-laws will expect to also go into the kitchen and do all the dishes and everything and be working. The man is just, left.
Yes.
So
that's the African
setting. Yes. So the pressure is always on the woman. So we tell the ladies, just be patient. I also tell the in-laws, please, this person is just coming to your space. Give her time to adjust.
Mashallah. So the time has gone, Coach Fatima.
Yeah, I would like to talk about the sisters.
That is
because
our time is gone.
Okay, so the sisters add more problem to the problem. Because there is one thing I want them to understand: you can't be in your own house and rule the house and expect to be in your brother's house and still rule the house. Yes, understand and set boundaries that this is your brother's house and the wife owns the house. Yes, so you should set boundary like this is not a place to cross this.
Exactly, mashallah. So I'm sorry, this is all we can take on the program today. The Roundtable with the Coaches. You can join us every Friday in this Ramadan for another beautiful edition of the Roundtable with the Coaches. And on my right has been Coach Sophia Fatim. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for joining us today. Mashallah. And Coach Fatima Chikari, thank you for joining us today. You're going to see the same faces next Friday, but every other day you're going to have an Islamic program for sure. My name is Medina Fago. I'm your host on this program. Ma'asalam.
أعوذ بالله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام تنزل الملائكة